Definition, we are saying DNA refers to a double-stranded polynucleotide that contains genetic information. So this genetic information is carried in form of bases. So basically, we have 4 types of bases that we find inside a DNA molecule. We have adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. And these bases exist in pairs. So between these base pairs, there are hydrogen bonds. So between thymine and adenine, there are 2 hydrogen bonds. And between guanine and cytosine, there are 3 hydrogen bonds. So as I have mentioned earlier on that this DNA molecule exists in segments which are called genes. So let's take, for example, with a trait, skin color. Let's say it's being coded by these base sequences of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 complementary base pairs. So this length of DNA from here to there is what is called a gene. So now let's take a look into meiosis. So when we're doing meiosis, we talked about pairing of homologous chromosomes. So what then are homologous chromosomes? Homologous chromosomes refers to chromosomes which are similar in structure and composition. So one of the chromosomes comes from the maternal side and the other chromosome comes from the paternal side. And these homologous chromosomes, they have the same number of genes and also they have the same sequences of genes. So these genes that code for the same trait but located on different chromosomes are what are called alleles. So we can use alphabetical letters to denote these alleles. So we use capital letters to denote what are called dominant genes. And we use small letters to denote what are called recessive genes. So what then is a dominant gene? A dominant gene refers to an allele of a gene that suppresses the effect of an alternative allele. And what then is a recessive gene? A recessive gene refers to a gene that is suppressed by a dominant gene. So these alleles exist in 2 conditions, which are called homozygous condition and heterozygous condition. So if our alleles are identical but dominant, that condition is called homozygous dominant. And if our alleles are identical but in recessive form, this condition is called homozygous recessive. And if our alleles are not identical, this condition is called heterozygous condition. So this composition of alleles actually affects what is called the genotype, or the composition of alleles is what is called the genotype of an organism. So the genotype of an organism influences or affects the physical appearance of an organism. So the physical appearance of an organism is what is called the phenotype. This marks the end of this presentation. See you in the next video. Goodbye.